Australian homes are some of the most expensive in the world. And let's face it, affordable housing is one of the main reasons why you'd want to move to another country. So why is it that most migrants still flock to some of the major cities like Sydney and Melbourne? Well, today I decided to look at 5 houses that aren't in one of the major cities to find out how much more affordable housing can be living outside of the major cities in Australia. How affordable is living in Newcastle, New South Wales? And Newcastle, which is just north of Sydney, is still the 7th most populated area in all of Australia. I guess we'll find out. So this first house is in a place called Windale, which I'm assuming is one of the suburbs of Newcastle. Let's check this out on the map. Okay, let's zoom out. Okay, so southern end of Newcastle, near some beaches, reasonably close to the coast, and at a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 1 townhouse. I'm wondering how affordable this could be for potentially a first home buyer. Now looking at the site plan, I'm not gonna lie, this does remind me very much of typical houses in the UK. Got a living, dining and kitchen area, and 3 bedrooms upstairs with a total internal floor area of 119 square meters. I think the house that we left in the UK was about 87 square meters, so this is probably a bit bigger. Got a carport at the front and reasonable amounts of outside space. I guess if you're going to want a garage, then this might not necessarily be for you. But as a townhouse, you can see where the house is attached over here. Pretty big garden, could potentially do with renovating, but it looks tidy enough. Big space downstairs and that open plan living. Bedrooms look a good size. This must be the other end of the open plan living downstairs. Tidy upstairs, but it does scream of rental carpets. I guess beggars can't be choosers if you're looking for a first home. Bathroom looks clean enough, and the outside space looks like it's had better days, but it is a good size. At least the fences look pretty new. Now, when we first moved to Australia about 3.5 years ago, we were in a townhouse, and overall I was really impressed with the overall size of it, particularly in comparison to the house that we'd just moved from. And that had absolutely no garden, and this has a huge amount of garden area in comparison to what we had. How much would you pay for a house like this in Windale, New South Wales, in the southern part of Newcastle? Well, if you wanted to buy this house today, it would cost you anywhere between $400,000 and $440,000. Is that a good price? Because as a first home for a family that has just moved out to Australia, I don't think that that price is unaffordable at all. Let's take a look at the next property. Now this is a 3-bedroom house in Adamstown Heights. 1 bath, 1 car parking space, but this is on 1,200 square meters. Where is Adamstown? Okay, so not quite as far south as the previous property, and I guess is still a reasonable distance from the coast if that's what you're looking for your lifestyle. Floor plan, this is looking like a bit of a mixed level type of house. Garage and laundry downstairs, and then upstairs with an open living, dining room, and 3 bedrooms, 1 slightly on the smaller side perhaps, but again a nice big plot. Is that what you're paying for from this? Looks good from the outside, wooden floors, aircon, lovely big windows. I guess that's where the bed would have gone, but a decent sized bedroom. Is this the other part of the living area? Yeah, just different angles, I guess. This must be a bedroom with a built-in wardrobe and that continuous wooden flooring throughout. Bathroom looks in good condition, but that window looks a bit old school. Kitchen's a decent size, but hasn't seen any new renovations, I guess. And that is a big sloping yard. Something you don't see every day, a little bit of a balcony. But overall, I think a decent sized property. How much would you pay for this property in Adamstown Heights in Newcastle? I definitely think that this is one where you're paying for the land, but it is a decent sized house. Would you want the extra bedroom though? Well, if you wanted to buy this house today, you'd be expected to pay around $950,000. Now I know for some people for that price that they would want extra living space, but a 1,200 square meter plot, that is pretty big. Let's take a look at the next house. Now this one is in, I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, Elibana? I know you're gonna tell me how to pronounce it in the comments. And this is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 3 car parking spaces on 711 square meters. This one from the outside looks pretty special. Okay, southern end again, but it is tucked in between. Do you want beach? Do you want lake? I'm assuming that's a lake. Now that is a pretty special picture, but weirdly the pool, is it in the front garden? Good use of space, I guess. That looks pretty fancy. Looks to be in a nice, well-established estate and lots of space on the drive for toys. Wow. Would you actually get that within your view from the house? Either way, it looks pretty good. Not much backyard space, which is probably why they've put the pool in the front, but a nice internal living area, good size, nice open dining area, and looks like it's got ducted aircon. Is that a bar? Good sized kitchen, another living area, Another angle of the living area. That does have a very nice tropical vibe. My wife would be jealous. Plenty of deck space for entertaining, but no cover. What happens if it's rainy? Do you want to be exposed to the elements while entertaining? There's your covered area. And with one of those through and through garages, you've got even more space for toys outside. All looks pretty tidy. Good sized bedroom, another good sized bedroom, another good sized bedroom. This must be the bar area with another living area. I'm wondering how much this house is going to be. Bathrooms look renovated, multiple bathroom areas. Still got space for a bath as well. Office, showing off that view again. Where is the floor plan? Here we go. So downstairs we've got a family living area, master bedroom on the downstairs. That can sometimes feel a bit weird coming from the UK. Living, dining, and a rumpus room upstairs. Bedroom 2 seems like it's got a huge walk-in wardrobe. And then there's your extra study outside the other bedroom. This house has a lot of space. If you wanted to move to Australia, could this house be a bit of you? How much would you be expected to pay for a house like this? Well, if you wanted this house today, you'd be expected to pay somewhere in the $1.4 million range. Now that is a hell of a lot of money, but this is also a hell of a lot of house. And in comparison to places like Sydney, which this isn't far away from at all, your money is going very much further. Do people even commute from Newcastle to Sydney? Is that an achievable thing you could do? Let me know in the comments. Let's look at the next house. Now this house is in Beresfield, New South Wales. It's a 3-bedroom with 1 bathroom, 3 car parking spaces, and on 588 square meters. We are not on the shy plot size areas today. Where is Beresfield? Well, it looks right next to a train line, and Beresfield is well outside of Newcastle. Let's take a look at the photos. I don't know how people would feel about having a massive, great big palm tree in their drive, but it does look a little bit like a more established home. Fancy way of saying old, I guess. Big carport area, and I am getting that older vibe sense, but it's got character. But how much open plan living is this? Doesn't look fully closed, leading through to the dining area. Do you want to see some ducted aircon? The whole house seems really well decorated. I don't think you'd need to do much to this house if you just first moved in. Good sized bedroom, another reasonable size. I guess it fits in a double bed. This one hasn't seen much decorating. It's like they left this one out, and they just forgot to do the bathroom as well. I don't think you'd need to do much to this house if you just first moved in. What would you call this? Is this like the sunroom? Conservatory? Do you even get conservatories in Australia? But it does have a bar. Kitchen looks a bit old school, but it looks reasonably clean with appliances to match the aesthetic. That is a decent sized plot and close to all of the main amenities. Looking at the floor plan, you've got your garage area outside and a covered area. 1, 2, there's your 3 bedrooms, but a decent living area size. But how does that work going into your kitchen? Do you have to go outside? And turns out it is a sunroom. For me, this is a bit of a quirky style house, but do they want you to pay extra for it? Or are they putting a price in that accounts for not only the location, but also the extra renovation that you're gonna have to do? Well, if you wanted to buy this house in Beresfield today, you'd be expected to pay $650,000. Again, that price doesn't put me off, but would the location and the extra work put you off?
If our story has inspired you to move to Australia, or you're in the early stages of moving over and you don't know where to start, then you'll need to find out if you even qualify for a visa. Australia is one of those pesky countries that doesn't just let anyone in, and realistically the whole moving process was probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my life. To help you out and plan what you need to do next, speak to our friends True Blue Migration Services, and when you mention us, let them do the hard work of navigating the ever-changing Australian visa system, and use their free visa assessment service so they can tell you exactly what you need to do to realise your dreams down under. As the only MARA registered visa company we trust, and we're not the only ones as they have hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. You can even check them out if you need help falling asleep. In fact, they're so slick that if you decide to use them, they'll pretty much do all of the hard work for you in securing your visa for you and your family to live their best life. So what are you waiting for?
Let's look at the final house. Now this is in Fern Bay, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2 car parking spaces, double garage, on 644 square meters. For me, this looks like the typical Australian home. And looking at it, I can see beach, right next to the beach, and just outside of Newcastle. Is this the perfect place to live in if you want that beach life? Let's take a look at the floor plan. And as you'd expect, big garage, media room, open plan living, all the bedrooms, got your outside area. I guess the only thing it's missing is a pool, but would you need it with a beach that close by? And an internal living area of 148 square meters. To be honest, this isn't actually much bigger than the first house that we looked at. Nice big drive, looks reasonably modern, looks like a new kitchen, great open plan living area. How many people could you fit on that sofa? Good sized bedroom, tidy bathroom, decent sized laundry, and extra storage for you, another bathroom. The outside looks like it could do with a bit of love, but you're not going to be needing to replace those fences anytime soon. Got some drainage in your garden. I'd say this looks like the typical Australian family home starter pack. So how much would you be expected to pay for a house like this if you wanted to move to somewhere in Australia that wasn't in one of the major cities? Well, if you wanted to buy this house today, just in the northern part of Newcastle, you'd be expected to pay anywhere between $840,000 to $880,000. Is that expensive? If I'm honest, I don't think that that is the cheapest, but considering how close Newcastle is to Sydney and what you'd have to pay for that kind of equivalent trying to live there, again, I don't think that this house is completely unaffordable. Which house out of these 5 would you go for if you wanted to live in Newcastle? And let us know if there are any better areas that we could be looking for. And comment down below an area in Australia that isn't a major city that we should be looking at next. And I'll see you on the next one.